Good morning, everybody. It took us 3 days to get from Yellowstone to Seattle. We probably could have done it in 2, but it would have been a whole lot of driving. One of the things we're learning on this trip is that driving an RV is significantly different than regular driving. It's a bit more exhausting. You've got to really be on top of your game at all times. It's just a bit more stressful. So we've decided to split that one up into 3 days of driving instead of 2. The first day of this drive started with some really beautiful country going through Montana. Morning, everybody. Today is our drive day between Yellowstone and Seattle. That's the first of 3 drive days for this leg of the trip here. We just stopped for lunch at the Town Hall Diner here in Harrison, Montana. That's it over there. Montana has been one of the most beautiful states I have ever seen, maybe the most beautiful. The views are incredible. It's fun driving. We're on these weird back roads that are like, they're just normal back roads with the speed limit 70. It's just super cool. It's pretty fun and different from what we're used to, of course. So take a look at these views. It looks like this everywhere. The creek runs through it. This is it. For tonight, since it's just a one night overnight, we're driving again tomorrow, we chose not to go to the campground. A while ago, before the trip, we signed up for a service called Harvest Hosts and Boondockers Welcome, and it's a combined service. And so this is a Boondockers Welcome site. And if you're not familiar with what these two programs are, you buy a subscription into the program, and that allows you to connect with various people and businesses that have space for campers to stay for the night. So Boondockers Welcome is private people who just have land and they want to share it with the people in the camping world, in the RVing world. So this is the private property of some very nice person, and they allow people to come and stay for the night. This one's awesome, and the reason we picked it is because they actually have electric hookups for us and this really nice big gravel parking lot for 5 different spots. You can see somebody else is here with us tonight. So this is really cool, and it's the first time we've been able to use this service so far on the trip. We're hoping for a few more times. It's really neat. So thank you so much to the person who runs this particular site. The site is called A Creek Runs Through It because it has this really pretty little creek back there behind the camper. Yeah, it's really great.
I mean, not gonna lie, you know, I think it's cool. It's pretty nice. Come on, Dad.
I'm good. The faces. The second night of the drive, we couldn't find any Harvest Hosts or Boondockers Welcome, so we ended up at a small campground outside of Spokane, and it was a really pretty little spot on a nice little lake, and it was a great place to spend the night.
Hey, babe.
It's been really fun watching the countryside change as we drive across this vast nation of ours. This particular drive took us from the dry highlands of Montana, which were beautiful, to the lush forests of the Pacific Northwest. the third day, we arrived in Seattle, and it was actually Michelle's birthday. We stayed in an RV park on a suburb on the other side of the Sound in a little town called Gig Harbor, which is a really pretty little sort of quaint seaside town with a very upscale, artsy kind of vibe. It was a really pretty place, and it was our first chance to see the Pacific Ocean, kinda. I don't know if it really counts because it was Puget Sound and it was actually like really many miles from the open ocean, but it still felt pretty cool. Like we'd made it all the way to the West Coast. This is what it feels like to get a selfie of the entire family every single time. Next day we headed into the city for a day of touristing. All right, everybody, we are on the ferry to head over to Seattle. We're gonna go see the Space Needle, and then we've got some historical tour that Chelle wants to do later on. Everybody say hi. I'll say it. Aiden, say hi.
No.
Aiden, say hi.
No.
Aiden, say hi.
No.
If I just get it near the Snapchat, I'm sure he'll look at it at least. Ladies.
Hi. It's real bright out. Hi.
Everybody at home, say happy birthday to Chelle.
It's a mile. It's a mile and a half.
We're about to go to the Space Needle. Ladies, what do you think? We don't have a lot of thoughts.
What?
You excited about the Space Needle?
Yeah.
Ada, you excited? Notice the only time he smiles is when he's playing Bloody Knuckles and hurts someone. Should we be worried?
There's a wavy building just like in Chicago. There's a really cool like play here.
What? All right, everybody, Space Needle reactions. Chelle?
It was cool.
Lainey?
Yeah, the city skyline is meh in comparison to some of the others that we've seen, but it's okay. The mountain in the
Criticism.
background, Mount Rainier in the background, that was awesome.
That's real pretty. Emmy, any thoughts?
I liked it more than Chicago.
You did? Interesting.
And the tilt thing sucked tushy nuggets.
Oh, the tilt. I like the rotating floor, the glass floor. That was cool. After the Space Needle, we did a tour called Beneath the City. We learned about how a huge fire in the 1880s completely leveled a big part of Seattle. That part of the city had been poorly engineered from the get-go, so the solution they came up with was to raise the city up. They built walls around every block that were 10 to 20 feet tall, filled in the streets with the ruins, and built new streets on top of that. So the ground floor of buildings became the basements, and the last step was to build the sidewalks, which ended up creating hollow tunnels underneath them that still exist. Those tunnels served many purposes over the last 140 years, mostly pretty seedy. But it was also used in the 90s for a literal underground bar scene that gave us the birth of grunge music. So that was really cool. The tour was a fascinating look at the history and culture of the city. Shout out to our tour guide Jennifer for a great time. That night we had brownies and celebrated Michelle's birthday. Yay!
You're officially.
Sunglasses. These are ridiculous.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Ridiculous.
You can wear it on our nice night in Vegas.
Aww.
And
It's a summery dress and it matches the glasses.
And it matches the glasses. Hold on. Hold on.
I gotta get a picture of this.
yes.
She's a dish.
Yes.
Yes.
The next morning, it was on the road again for another 3-day drive. But this time, each of the nights had a particular destination that we were really excited to see. The first night we stopped at Crater Lake. It was an otherworldly experience. Kind of like Yellowstone. It just felt like we were on a different planet. It was so beautiful. I've seen pictures over the years of Crater Lake, but nothing could have prepared me for how beautiful that spot is. It's amazing. So for like the 10th time this week, I'm gonna say this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
How far is the drop now?
The next night we stopped at Redwood National Park, another place I've always wanted to see. We spent the evening driving down the Avenue of the Giants and pulling off and taking little walks whenever we wanted to see something. And we even found a tree that you can drive through. It was really fun to do and kind of scary.
You're fine.
Yikes. What is that sound?
It's just your tire scraping. You're fine.
What do you mean tire scraping?
It's just dirt.
No, really, is it?
Yes. I looked. You weren't scraping against the tree.
Holy cow.
Oh, it's that bottom thing on the front because of the ruts.
Ooh yeah. Angles.
We met a really cool couple there also on a road trip and had a great conversation. The next morning it was back on the road for the 6th day out of 7, this time headed to San Francisco. We're actually going to stay a few days in the Bay Area, so hopefully not so much driving. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.